Yeah, my name is Mike DeRosa. I am an inventory control specialist, and along with that, I'm chairman of the safety. I do monthly facility inspections to include, checking all the fire extinguishers and safety within the store and the warehouses. I do all the initial safety briefings for all new employees. Uh, I manage the negative on hand report on a daily basis. Uh, and I'm in Great Falls, Montana. As of 3 April of this year, I'll be with the company 25 years. I served in the United States Air Force, and I had 30 years and 28 days when I retired. In 1966, excuse me, 65, Vietnam was going hot and heavy. I had friends of mine who had joined the military, and I really had no plans on what my future was. I was, 19, and I decided, well, I think I'll join the Army. Well, when I went, the Army recruiter guy was busy, so I said, the heck with this, and I walked across the street and talked with the Air Force recruiter and took the test, and he signed me up right then and there. And my original plans were just to serve 4 years and then get out, get some education, get a career, backing, and then get out and work in the civilian job force. Well, as you can see, that didn't happen. When I retired, I was Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force, which is an E9. During that time, when I retired, I was the maintenance superintendent for a missile maintenance squadron of 428 men and women. And our purpose was to keep 200 Minuteman missiles on alert and 20 launch control facilities operational 365 days a year, no matter what the weather was. Also, I had an account of that people that worked for me, and the equipment and vehicle account was in excess of $75 million that we had under our control that we had to keep control of, make sure we knew where stuff was, if it was operational. And I was also, when I retired, was the lead senior NCO for the base or the wings International Nuclear Facilities Inspection. That's where the Russians came in and inspected our missile sites, and we sent people to Russia to inspect their missile sites, and that was part of the INF Treaty. I retired from the military. I said, okay, I'm retired. I did 30 years and I could sit back and relax. That lasted about 2 weeks. I got some other job temporarily, just to fill in time, and I saw the ad in the paper that says they were hiring and at the time it was called Paulson's, and it was owned by BMC West, and that was in 1966. So the wheel has come around again. Now we're BMC West and BFS are one team. So, but I came here, I applied, and I started out in the paint department. And I just kept on staying, kept on working. My preparation for work started really before I joined the military. I was a young man, and, I was doing part-time jobs, and, when I was living at home, I was, 15, 16, doing part-time jobs. And, and a lot of times I'd come home and complain about I didn't like this and I didn't like that. And my father sat me down and said, listen, if you're going to work for somebody, and you're going to take their money, whether you like it or not is not the point. The point is you have to do a job and you have to do it correctly. And if you don't like it and you don't like there, don't do a disservice for yourself and the company or who you're working for. Quit and find something else, because it's not going to help you or them. So I then carried that into the military, and I've always instilled that even when I was a supervisor in the military with young people coming in, because you see a lot of 18, 19-year-olds coming in, and, some of them know what's going on and really want to work. And other ones are just, like me when I was young, didn't understand what was going on. And I explained to them, hey, you made a decision, you have to do it. And then I carried that through my 30 years in the Air Force. I instilled that same belief in my son and my grandsons. So it's kind of just stuck with me from when my father did it to me, talked to me about it. I learned to take responsibility for my actions. If I made a mistake, it's so much easier to say, yes, I made the mistake and I learned from it, instead of trying to say, well, this person did it, or it wasn't my fault, or, deflecting. And I've learned that in the military, just like here at Builders FirstSource, I went to many different jobs, and the first thing is, am I going to be successful? Am I going to do it? And the only way you're going to find out is to do it, is to try it and learn. If the only time you fail is if you say, no, I don't want a new job. You don't want to take on the responsibility. To me, that's kind of like failing. You didn't apply what you know and try to apply to do it. So you learn to adapt, just like the company. Since I've been here, we've had, it was BMC West, then it was UBC, then it was ProBuild, now it's BFS, and now we're BFS and BMC West together. And you have to learn to adapt, just like with new supervisors in the military, which changes a lot more than it does here in the civilian world. But you have to learn to adapt to new management styles, way people interpret policies, and you just sit back and say, okay, you do it. And if you don't understand something, you ask the question. If you disagree, you respectfully voice your opinion. It may change, it may not, but if it does, that's great. If it doesn't, you just press on and continue on. And never be afraid to ask a question or to say, are we really sure we want to do it that way? The only answer they can tell you is yes and no, and explain why they're doing it. And you press on from there. Just go to work and enjoy yourself. People ask me when they find out I've done that long in the military, they always ask me, would I do it all over again? And I have to say, during that time in the military, I was pretty fortunate. I only went overseas once and had to leave my family. But during that time, you miss, weddings, gatherings, family members, and a lot of things happen in the family. I'm from New York originally, and I'm here in Montana. So you miss a lot of things that happened. But when you look at the big picture, you did your part and you did it the best you could. And so when they asked me, would I do it over again, I would give them a resounding yes. I was very proud to serve my country. And I think it's something that's, I guess, a legacy that I will leave, with my family. So that's basically it.